What's good, guys? It's Seth with a Sense 42. So Sandbox fell to $4 like I predicted in my previous video. So I'm back with another update for you guys. Let's look at Sandbox and my short term, medium term, and end of bull run price targets for Sandbox. I have added timestamps in the description below, so feel free to skip around. But now let's kick this off by getting the pulse and the status of the market. So for the status of the market, we see that Bitcoin is at the moment trading at the top end of the logarithmic regression curves, right? And it is usually in this zone over here that Bitcoin taps off and comes back down in price, right? In 2017, we tapped off in this zone. We came back down in price. In 2013, we tapped off in that zone again, and now we came back down in price, right? But in 2013, 2017, we see a blow off top, but in our current situation, it looks like we are forming a double top formation, right? If Bitcoin doesn't get enough momentum to push us out of this double top formation and push us to higher prices, like above $70,000, then Bitcoin will be confirming this double top formation. So the key price to watch is the $30,000 price level. If Bitcoin breaks below $30,000, then the double top formation would have been confirmed, right? So keep that in mind. But now, since the market is also ruled by emotions, the market is massively ruled by emotions, right? So let's look at the fear and greed index. So from the fear and greed index, we see that the index is currently sitting at 24, showing that there's extreme fear in the market, massively due to the 40% dump that we have seen in the price for Bitcoin. Some altcoins have even seen more than a 50% dump. But like I've said before, this is just part of the regular market cycle where we go from fear to greed, fear to greed. We are currently fearful from the 40% dump that we have seen in the price for Bitcoin. But I expect people to get greedy from here and people to buy things at lower prices and push us back into greed, right? That is just a normal human behavior. But keep this in mind, if Bitcoin dumps, then expect Sandbox to dump as well. Now let's look at Sandbox from the lower time frame to the higher time frame. Starting with the forward chart, we see that Sandbox is at the moment trading at about $5.15, and the price is also trading in this falling or descending wedge pattern, right? And this pattern is usually a bullish indicator and normally predicts price will break out of the pattern and push higher. We are not yet seeing the breakout at the moment, but if Bitcoin does not dump on us, then it is highly likely that Sandbox will push out of this pattern, break out, and head towards the price target for this pattern, sitting about $8 over here, right? That would be the price target for this pattern. But my short-term price target for Sandbox at the moment is at the 0.5 fib level. Let me clean up a little bit. So my price target for Sandbox, my short-term price target for Sandbox is at the 0.5 fib level, or about $6.30. That is where I believe Sandbox will get a little bit of a resistance because of the VPVR over here. We have a huge amount of volume traded in this zone over here, right? So I believe that will be our next level of resistance for us to push through before heading towards $8, right? The price target for this pattern. But if the opposite happens, right, and Bitcoin dumps in price, then it is highly likely we'll have Sandbox come back down to this support zone over here on the VPVR. So the support zone that we have over here between $4.50 and $3.75, right? Then price will fall down and it will get some support at that in between that zone. But it is also possible the price could head lower. That is if Bitcoin massively dumps, right? If Bitcoin breaks below $30,000, then it is highly likely Sandbox will also break below $3.75. But now let's look at some indicators. Let's look at the RSI. So let's start with the RSI. From the RSI, we see that Sandbox is currently gaining strength in the lower time frame. The RSI is trending upwards, and the RSI is only at 43, right? So there's a lot of room up for us to push higher from here in price and in the RSI as well. But now let's look at the MACD. So let me switch to the MACD chart, and from the MACD we see that the MACD line, the blue line, is still above the signal line, right? So this is positive for Sandbox, and this is confirming the gain of strength in the RSI, right? So that is another confirmation that we have over there. But when we look at the squeeze momentum chart, we see that the squeeze momentum chart is not yet confirming the gain of momentum in the MACD, right? We are in a very long squeeze over here, right? So it shows that the market is recovering. Sandbox is recovering, is going through a very long recovery, and with time we should see a very violent move upwards for Sandbox, right? But that is only if Bitcoin does not dump. If Bitcoin dumps, then it will probably be ugly, right? It will not look good for Sandbox. From the daily chart, we see these hockey stick patterns on the chart, and like I said in my previous video, these hockey stick patterns normally do not end well, and it normally ends with the 50% dump. Over here, back in November, we had almost a 50% dump. It was just under 50%, but in our current situation, we have had a full 50% dump. So from here, it is highly likely we'll go through some consolidation before pushing back up in price. That is if Bitcoin does not dump, right? If Bitcoin dumps, then we will see lower prices. But from the bullish case, my medium-term price target for Sandbox is sitting at the price target for this falling wedge pattern, right? And my price target for this falling wedge pattern is about $7.50 or about $8, right? That is my my price target, my bullish price target for the medium term. But for my bearish price target, that is if Bitcoin dumps, right? If Bitcoin continues to dump, then it is highly likely we'll have lower prices for Sandbox as well. And I expect Sandbox to go hit about $3 in the medium term. That is if Bitcoin breaks below $30,000. If Bitcoin breaks below $30,000, then we'll definitely see lower prices as low as $3 even for Sandbox. From the weekly chart, we see a much more bigger hockey stick pattern, right? But in the weekly chart, my main focus is the RSI. So let's go take a look at the RSI. So from the RSI, we see that Sandbox is currently at 69 on the RSI, right? So this is a good correction from the 94 or 95 RSI that we were at like, you know, just about a week or two ago. This is good. And if Bitcoin doesn't continue to dump from here, then I believe Sandbox will probably push back up in price, and we will see higher prices for Sandbox. But now let's look at the MACD chart. So from the MACD, we see that the MACD line, the blue line, is still above the signal line, the orange line. So this is highly bullish for Sandbox. This is showing that Sandbox is maintaining the high momentum. This is very good. If Bitcoin doesn't dump, Sandbox will definitely run. From the squeeze momentum, we see that the squeeze momentum is also confirming the high momentum for that. It's confirming the high momentum that we saw in the MACD, right? Now, for my end of bull run price target for Sandbox, if Bitcoin does not break below $30,000, then I believe Sandbox has more room to run. Using the logarithmic regression curves, I have my end of bull run price target for Sandbox sitting about $12, and that will be my end of bull run price target for Sandbox. But that is if Bitcoin does not get an extended bull run, right? If Bitcoin gets an extended bull run, then we could probably even see higher prices for Sandbox. Now make sure to help a brother out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. My name is Seth, and I make crypto content that makes you more money. So if making more money with cryptos is something you are interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications as well. And let me know what other coin you would like for me to cover in the comment section.